Welcome. I am Advocate Bhagyashree Bhosle, working as a lecturer in Sri Pancham Kimraj Law College, Nagpur. In today's lecture, we will see the provision regarding the National Human Rights Commission, its importance in protection of the human right in India. To safeguard the human right of every individual in the country, the National Human Rights Commission was established on 12th October 1993. The National Human Rights Commission is an independent statutory body constituted under the Protection of a Human Right Act 1993 as amended by the Protection of a Human Right Amendment Act 2006. It is the watchdog of a human right in the country. The right to life, liberty, equality, dignity of an individual guaranteed by the Indian Constitution or embodied in the international covenants and enforceable by the courts in India. National Human Rights Commission has its headquarters in New Delhi. First of all, we shall see the provision regarding what are the human rights. As per the United Nations Declaration, human rights are inherent to all human beings regardless of a race, gender, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion or any other status. These rights are entitled to all human beings without any discrimination. Human rights include right to life, liberty, freedom from the slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education and many more rights included in the human right. In the beginning, we shall see the history of a National Human Rights Commission. National Human Rights Commission was established by taking inspiration from the Universal Declaration of a Human Right. Universal Declaration of a Human Right was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on 10th December 1940. Every year, Human Rights Day is celebrated on 10th December, which is the anniversary of the Universal Declaration of a Human Right. Universal Declaration of a Human Right was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. The National Human Rights Commission was established in conformity with the Paris Principle adopted for the promotion and protection of the human right in Paris and endorsed by the General Assembly of the United Nations on 20th December 1993. This act also authorized the state government to establish the state human rights commissions. Then we shall see the structure of a National Human Rights Commission. National Human Rights Commission is composed of a chairman and 7 other members. Out of the 7 members, 3 are ex officio members. The chairman and member of the National Human Rights Commission are appointed by the President of India on the recommendation of the high-powered committee headed by the Prime Minister. The members, among the members, appointment we shall see the appointment criteria for chairman and all other members. The chairman should be the retired Chief Justice of India. One member should be the retired judge of a Supreme Court. Another member should be the retired judge of any High Court of India. Other 2 members should individuals having the personal experience in a matter relating to the protection of human right. Then we shall see the ex officio member of the National Human Rights Commission. The chairperson of the below National Commission are the ex officio member of the National Human Rights Commission. First of all, the chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, National Commission for the Minorities, chairperson of the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste, chairperson of the National Commission for the Scheduled Tribes, chairperson of the National Commission for Women, etc. All these are, among these, the three members are ex officio member of the National Human Rights Commission. Then we shall see the provision regarding the appointment and removal of the member of the National Human Rights Commission. The chairman and the member of the National Human Rights Commission are appointed for the 5 years or till the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. They can only be removed on the charges of misbehavior or incapacity if proved by the inquiry conducted by the Supreme Court. Then we shall see the major functions of the National Human Rights Commission. Those are as follows. First and important function of the National Human Rights Commission is to inquire into the investigation of human rights and negligence in the prevention of such a violation by a public servant. Second important function of the National Human Rights Commission is by leave of the court, means by permission of the court, to intervene in the court proceeding relating to the human right. Third important function of the National Human Rights Commission is to visit any jail or institution under the control of the state government where the person are detained or lodged for the purpose of a treatment, reformation or the protection, for the study of the living condition of the inmates and make the recommendation to the government. Review the safeguard provided by or under the constitution or any law for the time being enforced for the protection of a human right and recommend the measure for their effective implementation. Review the factors including acts of a terrorism that inhibit the enjoyment of the human right and recommend the appropriate remedial measure. To study the treaties and other international instruments on a human right to make the recommendation for their effective implementation. Undertake and promote the research in the field of a human right. Engage in the human right education among the various sections of the society and promote the awareness of the safeguard available for the protection of these rights through the publication, through the media, through the seminar and through the other available means. Then another important function of the National Human Rights Commission is to support the efforts of an NGO and institution working in the field of the human rights. It is revealed in a report that international community has acknowledged the increasing importance of strengthening the National Human Rights Institution. Then we come to the powers of the National Human Rights Commission. National Human Rights Commission hold the power to investigate grievances relating to the violation of a human right either suo motu or by receiving a petition or a complaint. It has the power to interfere in any judicial proceeding involving any allegation of the violation of a human right with the permission of the court. It can review the protection provided for in the constitution or any human right protection legislation and can recommend the effective remedial steps. National Human Rights Commission also undertakes and promote the research in the field of human rights. It works to spread the human rights literacy among the various sections of the society and promote the awareness of the safeguard available to the protection of these rights through the publication, media, seminars and other means. The Commission takes an independent stance while for time being giving advice on the defense of a human right in the constitutional parlance or in the statute. National Human Rights Commission has the power of a civil court and can grant a interim relief. It also has the authority to recommend the payment of a compensation or a damages. It can recommend to both the central as well as the state government to take a suitable step to prevent the violation of a human right. National Human Rights Commission submit its annual report to the President of India, who causes it to be laid before the each house of a parliament. Then we shall see the limitation of the National Human Rights Commission. National Human Rights Commission cannot take any action against the violation of a human right by private parties. The recommendation made by National Human Rights Commission are not binding. National Human Rights Commission cannot penalize the authority that do not implement its recommendation order. National Human Rights Commission has a limited jurisdiction over the cases relating to the armed forces. The National Human Rights Commission cannot hold the jurisdiction in the following cases. Mainly the cases older than 1 year, cases that are anonymous, pseudonymous, or a vague, or a frivolous cases, or cases pertaining to the service matter. Instead of all these, there are a certain strengths of a National Human Rights Commission. The selection procedure of the member of the National Human Rights Commission is the main factor of a strength. The composition of the selection committee is such that it involves the member of the ruling as well as opposition party and both houses of a parliament. Also, the composition of a National Human Rights Commission is such that it involves the legislative, executive, judiciary, academician and NGOs. This gives the commission a broad vision to deal with the issues of a human right. Financial autonomy, though limited, has provided National Human Rights Commission independence of a central government. The commission is free to make its own budget and spend it according to the own planning. The draft of a proposed budget should be placed before the both house of a parliament, and after the approval of the budget by the government without making any amendment has to provide the finance to the commission. The commission has the power to conduct suo motu inquiry into the complaint of a human rights commission. Easy accessibility to the commission has made it one of the most popular organization. Anyone can approach the National Human Rights Commission through the telephone, letters, application, mobile phone and the internet. All the documents, reports, newsletter, speeches, etc. of the commission are also available on the website of the National Human Rights Commission. The status of the complaint too can be known through the website. The popularity and the trust of a National Human Rights Commission is quite evident from the fact that while it has registered only 496 complaints in the year 1993 and 1994. But in year 2004 to 5, the total number of cases registered in the National Human Rights Commission was 74,419 cases was registered. National Human Rights Commission has advised the government on a number of times on the issues of a human rights. Be it the cases of a custodial deaths or a suicide by the farmers or a health issues or a quota, child marriage, trafficking of the human right and children, etc. The government has been taking the suggestion from the National Human Rights Commission. The major issues tackled by the Human Rights Commission are as follows: custodial torture, right to work and labor's right, extrajudicial killing, arbitrary arrest and detention, sexual violence, conflict-induced internal displacement, child labor, violence and discrimination against the women and children, lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgenders right, problem faced by the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, religious minority, persons with a disability. Along with all these, the role of a National Human Rights Commission in safeguarding a human right is very important. Since its development, the National Human Rights Commission has extensively dealt with the issues relating to the application of a human right. National Human Rights Commission has established its reputation for the independence and honesty. There is an increasing number of complaints addressed to the Commission seeking the redressal of the grievances. The National Human Rights Commission has playing the important role in a country for the protection of the human right as well as for the awareness of the human right protection. Thank you.